Assalamu alaikum. Am I audible to you? All right. If I'm audible, let me know. Okay. Yeah. We'll wait till people join. Walaikum salam. Yeah, we'll wait 4 minutes and we'll start. Of course. Give me a minute. Oh, okay, Sahla, no worries, not a problem. No worries, Sahla, not an issue. Guys, if your friends are not joined, let them know about the class. So, yeah, just 2 minutes left. I'll be starting by 2 minutes. Yes. No worries, you will love the session. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, better, Sahla, you can forward it, but not to spam it. Huh? Yes, Zainab, it's better if you can update it. Okay, we'll start then. Am I audible? Is the board is visible? So sorry, just now I had the class. I forgot to clean the board. Right. Okay. So yeah, today we are going to study about the grade 10 health. Okay. So you know that the grade 10 and the 11 health syllabus is both are equal. So whenever I teach a lesson, I used to combine the grade 10 and the 11 lessons together, and only I will be teaching, right? Okay. So that is the way I teach health, and I'll tell you how my health classes will be working and all. So as you see, whenever we study about health, I used to convert the health lesson as a story. I convert into the story and make you to understand. And that is how the health class is working, right? So first you learn and let me know how possible you could understand, right? Okay. So today we are going to study about let us build a healthy society. So we are going to study let us build a healthy society, right? So under the healthy society, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story how this is working, right? Now say for example, today, let's say for example, let's say this is you. Okay, this is you. Now what are you doing is, you are saying, now whenever we talk about the lesson health, people think that health means it's all about diseases. People think it's all about diseases. It is all about disabilities. So that is what health is, people's mindset. But you are going to prove that health is not only about diseases, it is not only about disabilities, it is something very broad that you have to understand. The chapter is the first chapter of grade 10. Right. Now, when you talk about this lesson, you have to understand very specifically. Now listen. So you are a sportsman. Say for example, you are a cricketer. Now say you are a cricketer. Now you are waiting here. Now say for example, you are a cricketer. Now when you talk about when you are a cricketer, now what you have to understand, first they will check whether you have any diseases. So we say we don't have any diseases, and we will check whether you have any disabilities. So what do you mean by the disabilities? Disabilities means what? So some people can't write, some people's brain will not work. So in that way, we count the disabilities. Okay, abilities means what? What you can do. Disabilities means what? What you can't do. So there's something called total health. There is something called what? Total health. So total health means you have to understand health means what? Some people think it's about diseases and it's about what? It's about the disabilities. But whenever you talk about total health, think about a cricketer. A cricketer doesn't have diseases and disabilities. Can I say this person is 100% achieving total health? Think about his family background. Now think about his family background. Now if I take, first of all, we have to check his well-being. We have to check his what? The well-being. So when you talk about the well-being, what do you understand about the well-being? Well-being. Now, first of all, I have to see this guy can play the cricket. I have to see whether what? The person can play the cricket. I have to see whether he is physically well-being. I have to see whether he can do that work. Next thing, what can you say about his mental well-being? What can you say about his mental? That means, is he happy, or is he loved by people, or is he taking adequate amount of rest? So this says whether he is mentally well-being. This says what? Mentally well-being.
So first of all, it doesn't mean you have to say whether he's healthy with the diseases and disabilities, but also you have to see whether he is physically well-being or mentally well-being. Now say he's a cricketer. If he's not cooperating with the other colleagues and members, do you think he is healthy? Do you think this person is healthy? No, he's not healthy. That means he is not socially well-being. So, how do we consider that you are having a total health? You should not only have diseases and disabilities, but also you have to consider what? You have to consider the well-being. So, what are the well-beings we have? We have physical well-being, social well-being, mental well-being, and spiritual well-being. If all four well-beings are with you, then only you are achieving what? You are achieving total health. So what do you mean by total health? Total health is not being free from diseases and disabilities, but also you are achieving physical well-being, mental well-being, social well-being, and spiritual. Can someone give me an example for spiritual well-being? What do you think about spiritual? What does the spiritual talks about? What do you mean by spiritual well-being? So whenever we talk about spiritual well-being means what? They are talking how you care. Say for example, you have a cat. If you are carrying a cat, if you are loving the cat, you are not hurting the animals, some religious stuff things, you are praying, you are believing something related to the religion, that you call it as spiritual well-being. So, a total health means it is not only you are free from diseases and disabilities, but also you should achieve those four well-beings to become healthier. So, think about yourself. Are you healthy? Are you achieving this total health? Is it possible for you to achieve this total health? Yes. If you manage the time, if you are having the good food on time, definitely you can achieve the total health. But in this generation, people, the students, the adults, what do? They are corrupted with this technology. When they are corrupted, what do you think? They miss their food on time. They will not take about themselves. They will not talk to anyone. Always in the phone. Always not they are nowadays more than being extrovert. They have become what? Introvert. So that is how the people in this generation. It is really sad to see. You see, it is very sad to see people are not engaging in physical activities. Nowadays, going to the gaming zone, playing games. Always playing games. Always talking with the friends, but maybe your parents are in front of you. You are not talking to your parents. That means these days, this generation students and people are not achieving total health. Maybe you are not having the diseases, but you don't have any disabilities, but still you are not achieving these four well-being means. Still you are zero in total health. Now, did you understand? Did you get what I'm talking about? Did you get what I'm talking about? So, how can I achieve this total health? How can I achieve this total health? So, when you talk about total health means what? You're not only being free from diseases and disabilities, but also having physical well-being, mental well-being, social well-being, and spiritual well-being. If you have all four well-beings together with these things considering, then only you are having what? The total health. Clear with the definition of total health? Did you understand what is total health? Right. Okay. Now let's talk about how this total health is going to affect you. Say, for example, how this is going to affect in your life. We are going to understand how this total health is going to influence you. Now, usually when you talk about total health, what do you understand about the total health? Now, when you talk about total health, there are so many factors are affecting the total health. But Say, for example, if you are engaging in physical education activities, now when you are developing, say, for example, if you are a sportsman, now think, what are the things are you achieving if you are a sportsman? What are the things you can improve? How can you achieve the total health? How can you achieve the total health? By doing sports. In sports, you will be good in physical activity. You will love what you are doing, which means you will be mentally fit. And you will talk to everyone. That means your social well-being is very good. And then you will love yourself. Loving others, and helping others. These all come under spiritual, and you will pray for what you need. So this is spiritual well-being. So you have to choose the activity that can improve you in all four well-beings. Clear with that? Understood that? So when you talk about the factors influencing total health, you have to understand, I have to always choose a physical educational activities that can improve me in four factors. Right. Now we are going to study what are the things that can break my total health. What are the factors that can influence, that can break my total health? So when I talk about the total health, first thing is, say for example, there is a boy. Okay, let's say for example, there is a boy. So now this boy is liking someone. Say for example, this boy is liking someone where he is having the close relative. Now say for example, usually most of us having relatives and we know neighbors and everyone. But this is very common activity within us, where one of our relative will like the very closest relative. Now what happens if they get married? Now, what is happening now? Say this person is having the X genes, the other person is also having the X genes. Now, why both of them are having the similar type of genes? Because we are close to each other. So this we call it as genetic consanguinous. So genetic consanguinous means, now if you marry close relationship people, what is happening? The baby that is born between you and your partner will have a disease called what? The baby will get a disease called what? Thalassemia. The baby will be getting a disease called what? The thalassemia. So what is a thalassemia means? The baby will, the baby is very unhealthy baby for a certain period of time, which means the baby has to get the blood for all, until the baby dies or until the baby lives. The blood that you have to supply will be eternal. That means rebooting the blood. That means you take the blood, new blood is sent to the baby, again taking the old blood, new blood is sent in. So that is how the thalassemia, how cruel is that? So when you get married, what is happening to your generation? The generation that you produce will have a future disease. So what is happening to you and your partner with the children? You will not achieve the total health. So getting married to the close relatives will risk of getting diseases. So what is the first thing I have to achieve in the total health? I have to avoid getting married between relatives, very close relatives. If it is far relatives, completely fine. Clear with that? So what is the first factor that is affecting my total health? Genetic consanguinous. So genetic consanguinous is one of the factor that can affect your total health. Second one. So when you talk about the second one, the person's behavioral change. Now, when you talk about the person's behavioral change, like what do you think about the person's behavioral change? Like what? He don't sleep on time. You don't sleep on time. That means you get dark circles, you get angry, you are becoming rude. Why? You don't have a proper sleep. You are not calm. The next thing is what? What is the next thing that you could say? Not eating on time. When you are not eating on time, what is happening? You will miss your appetite, and what will happen? You will not gain or lose weight, but you will prone to disease. What is the next thing? You are not taking enough amount of rest. Some people take drugs, they will take cigarettes, they will be using these things, and they will ruin themselves. So the second factor that is affecting the total health is behavioral pattern. So the behavioral pattern can affect your total health. The first pattern can affect your genes. That means the genetic consanguineous will affect your total health as well as your future generation. The next thing is about what? The behavioral pattern. The way you live can affect you in future, right? The third thing, social and economic background. So when you talk about the social and economic background, what is social and economic background? What do you think about it? Now, some people, when you talk about, now imagine someone is want to get married to you. First of all, they will check your social and economic background. First of all, they will say what? They will check whether you are a well-standard person or you are a wealthy person. Some people say it's fine if you're from the mid-class family. It's completely fine, but they will check your background, whether you are coming from a good family, educated family, or some people comes from the uneducated family using drugs, drug business and all. So when you don't maintain a proper background, say if you don't come from a good family, sometimes you will get affected by the total health. And other than that, it is you are responsible to create a better environment to you. You can create it. It doesn't mean your family has to create for you. You can create it by yourself by improving your behavioral patterns as well as the way you live with everyone, the socializing one. So from that, you can identify whether you have to live with these people or whether you have to take a new change. So that is social and economic background. The next thing is physical environment. If you enter to the school, now see, the school table is not clean, the chair is not clean, and what is so much dusty. So due to this dust, you may get diseases. So you have to make sure that your physical environment is what? It has to be very clean. And also, what do you think about the water that you consume? That has to be what? It has to be clean. The washroom, some people, when you take the school should have a good facility for the washrooms. The hygiene should be there. So that means one washroom, 50 students should use. But if you have the whole school has only one washroom, means that is non-hygienic. This can cause you some diseases in your reproductive organs. That can happen. So we have to be careful. So what are the factors that is affecting the total health? Number one, you can talk about what? The genetic consanguineous. The next one is what? The way you behavioral pattern. That means the way you sleep, the way you take the food, the way you take the rest, time management, not to get stressed. So for that, you can consider that. Next one, social and economic background. So if your background of your family, the way you live and way you talk to the people, how socializing with the people, this can bring you a good impact on the environment. Next thing is physical environment. So you are cleaning, sweeping your house, cleaning, dusting everywhere. So this can help you to prevent from diseases. The fifth one is health services. So now when you talk about health services, I can divide the health services into two, as government health services plus the private health services. Now tell me, in which health services is the best health services? That means like who care you most? Is the private or the government? Who cares you most? The private service or the government service? Yes. Okay, very good. Yes, private. So private, when you go to the private service, yes, they will care you because you pay. But when you go to the government, what happens? Now tell me, can everyone pay and go to the private? Will everyone will to go and pay to the private? No, not everyone. So most of them will go to where? Government. If the government is not actually providing you the right service at the right time, in a good way, in a hygienic way, will you be able to achieve the total health? Will you be able to achieve the total health? Will you understand? Like, will you get it? Will you get what you need? Never. You never get what you need. So that is why they say the health services can help you. Health services can also ruin your total health. Clear with that? Understood? So what are the 5 factors that can help your good health? What are the 5 factors that can help your good health? Number 1, the genetic consanguinous. So genetic consanguinous means if you are getting married to the close relative, this can bring you what? Diseases to your future generation. You also might be in a problem. Next one, behavioral pattern. The way you sleep on time and eating on time, taking rest, time management. The people like you has all upside down behavioral pattern. Next thing is social and economic background. So when you talk about social and economic background, that depends on your parents as well as you can create a good impact in the environment. Like you talk to everyone, you speak to everyone, you avoid drugs, you're not using alcohol, not using cigarettes, not going adultery contents. Right. Next thing, physical environment. So what do you talk about physical environment? Cleaning your house, having a beautiful garden, intaking good food. So those things are going to be what? The physical environment. Next thing, health services. So it is depending on the health services that you choose, right? So that is about the 5 factors that is affecting what? The good health, right? Now, how can you, now we studied how is, what are the factors that is affecting the good health. The next thing that you're going to learn, how you can overcome, how you can change it, what can you do to bring an impact to such environment to bring a total health. The first thing is what? You can eat foods that is healthy to you. So you can eat foods that is healthy to you, maintaining your BMI, then sleeping on time, taking rest, stress management. Then what else? Then you can talk about obeying the rules and regulations. You are avoiding alcohol, illicit drugs. Then what else you can say? You are maintaining, you are having a simple lifestyle. So these things can bring a change to your life and create a good health to you. Clear with that? So most of the time in exam, they can give you what? Instead of total health, they can give you another term as complete health. They can give you what? Complete health. Instead of total health, they can give you another name for the total health as what? The complete health. Right. Now, first we are going to study about what are the things can bring you a difference in what? Difference in the good health. Right. So first thing you are going to study about good eating habits. You are going to study about what? Good eating habits. So when you talk about good eating habits, can you please tell me what kind of a food should I take more? Now say if I take the nutrition, I can divide into several types. I can turn into a carbohydrate, vitamins, minerals, proteins and all. Now tell me which factor or which food or which category can bring you healthy, can make you healthy. What do you think? Which one can make you healthy? Is it carbohydrate or vitamins or minerals or proteins and lipids? Who can bring you healthier? Remember, usually, what do we eat at home? Do we eat what do we eat? Now think well and tell me. Like lunch, you take rice. We know the rice is the most abundant food that we use in Sri Lanka. So when you talk about rice, what do you think about rice? What does the rice give you? Rice will provide you what? It will provide you what? Carbohydrate. So rice will provide you what? Carbohydrate. So mainly we focus on eating what? Carbohydrate. So carbohydrate gives you energy. So along with the carbohydrate, what do you take? In a plate, you take rice, you take beans, you take beetroot and all. Now these, what are all these? What are all these? We take chicken. Yes, we take chicken. And what are all these? Now what are you doing is, if you want to have a good eating habit, you should include carbohydrate, a piece of protein, a amount of vitamins and minerals. These things has to be added. Now, after eating food, haven't you ate banana or mango, any other fruits, watermelon? Haven't you taken? Yes. So when you talk about carbohydrates, when you talk about good eating habits, you have to include carbohydrate to be energy. Can your mother give you 1 kilo of chicken and stay and give to you everything and stay? You cannot. So protein is very expensive. That's why we limit the number of protein. If you take too much protein, what will happen? Do you know that when you take too much protein, what happens to you? What happens to your body? Now say I'm taking too much protein. I don't move here and there. What will happen to me? I will put on weight. What is the reason? Protein will help me to gain what? It will help me to gain muscles. Protein will help me to gain muscles. But when I talk about carbohydrate will do what? What will the carbohydrate? Carbohydrate will give me energy. But when the carbohydrate is lacking energy, protein can give you energy. But remember, protein and carbohydrate, you cannot take it equally. Either one of them has to be taken. Say, for example, if you wanted to reduce the amount of say diabetes, say we have diabetes. So when you have diabetes, doctor will ask you to cut off the carbohydrate. Then what you have to focus? You have to focus on protein. Say we don't have diabetes, then you can have the carbohydrate plus protein. But whenever you take protein, you have to exercise. If you don't exercise, you will lead to obesity. You will lead to what? Obesity. Then what else? Lipid. Where do we consume lipids? Like, tell me, how do we consume lipids? Are you taking a gallon of oil and drinking? No, not like that. Tell me, how do you gain this lipid? Any source of way, like oils, like what? How do you receive the oil? Like oily foods, like what? What are the street foods you know? We buy kottu, then always fried items at home, always frying, everything has consumed what? Now say I have a piece of chicken. When I fry this chicken, initially the chicken has what? The chicken has protein. When I fry, where the protein will be there? There will be no protein. Only the lipid will be there. Understood why you are gaining weight? Do you understand what are the mistakes that you are facing? So when you talk about the chicken, if you boil the chicken and eat, you are healthy. If you fry the chicken and eat, you are not healthy. Why? The protein is already gone. You are consuming what? You are consuming the lipid. Why? It is fried with using the oil. That is the reason. Clear with that? So good eating habits has to have a balanced diet. You should have a balanced diet. So what are the things you have to take? Now, if I take grains and tubers, what are the tubers you know? What are the tubers you consume daily? Anyone knows? We call it as yams. Something like what are the yams you know? You can take sweet potato as yams. What else you can take? A potato. These all comes under the yams. So if you take too much of yams, also bad. Everything limited. So to become healthy, you can use grains. How many of you all like this chickpeas, kadala, cowpea and all go to the school? No one likes it. They feel bored of eating. So how do you eat them? So some people is bored. Some people like to eat. It depends the parents how they create it. Very tasty, right? Too much carbohydrate is not good, dear. If you take too much carbohydrate, your brain will not work. That means you become lazy. Say you ate a plate of rice and when I ask you to come and study, you won't study. Why? You already had your dinner because like you feel very sleepy. Why? Carbohydrate makes your body lazy. Protein makes your muscles healthy. But if you only take workouts, lipids gives you energy. Say there is a boy, he is like a pencil. Now he will fly. For that person, if he takes the lipid, then of course fine. If you see someone like a big building, that person can't take the lipid. So he has to limit the number of lipid in order to take what? Lipids are there, right? Lipids are very, it can give you what? Cholesterol, you will gain weight, people will laugh at you. So those are disadvantages, you can see. Right. So now we'll come to the main point. So what are the things that you have to take to have a good eating habits? What are the things? Yeah, that is all are yummy. But when you take eat and wait, you won't understand. Once the taste come to your tongue, then you will forget about everything and you will keep on eating. So you have to limit everything. So what are the things we have to consume? We have to consume grains, tubers, vegetables, fruits. Then do you drink milk? How many of you are taking milk at home? Don't take that anchor powder milk. Please don't take. Those are not healthy for you. Take fresh milk, but never take this powder milk. Powder milk is not milk. All are chemicals. See, when you mix it, say, take the difference. Powder milk plus natural milk. Drink one sip of natural milk, drink one sip of powdered milk. Powdered milk will taste something like bitter at your throat. What is the reason? They use chemicals. How can you make a liquid into a solid? Think. How can you make a milk into a solid milk powder? It's impossible. Those are chemicals. Now, it's been 5 years that I have cut down milk from my like dieting list. I have removed everything. The reason, what is the reason I removed? Because not everything is healthy. Even though whatever they sell as pure, all are impure, right? So you have to take milk, but make sure you take it the fresh one. Yogurt, how many of you are taking yogurt? At least take once in a week. A yogurt is good for your body, but not, I don't think so. Nowadays, the yogurt is also pure. I don't know, but I have to check with that. Right. Ice cream. How many of you like ice cream? Take the milk-based ice cream. Take milk-based ice cream. Don't take this, what do you say? There is traffic jam ice cream. Or I have no idea, but I heard there's like water-based ice cream. Don't take it. Take the ice cream that doesn't contain any colors. So take the ice cream which doesn't contain any colors. Take like ice cream that contains milk, like say Gulfi. Have you heard about it? So if you take about it, yeah, curd with sugar is good. Your curd is good. Actually, curd is good to your body. Then what else? Seeds. Have you all ate seeds? If you eat seeds rich in, like, what do you say? Seeds, like what? Have you all ate almonds? Sunflower seeds? Sunflower seeds. Have you all ate sunflower seeds? These are good for your skin. It will make your skin replenished and moisture. It will, like, you will look beautiful if you take too much of seeds. Like, yeah, lotus seed, you can eat. Lotus seed makes you younger. It makes you to look more younger than what you age. So these things all you have to consume, but everything is limited. Everything should be limited. Always remember, your stomach is there, right? Your stomach is in this way. Say, for example, if I take your tummy is divided into 3. It is divided into 3. So that means 1/3 of your stomach should have food. Okay. This one should have what? Water. Then the air. Then the food. This is how you have to eat. But people, they eat full of third. 3/3 will be food. Please don't eat like that. You will put on weight. You will get cholesterol. You will fall sick. This is what happens. Clear with that? So that is about good eating habits. So you have to consider what are the foods that you have to eat. Right. The next thing is active lifestyle and exercise. Now, when you talk about diseases, what are the 2 types of diseases, I could say? What are the 2 types of diseases we have faced? We have faced 2 types of diseases. One, we know communicable diseases, or I can call it as non-communicable diseases. So communicable diseases, I can call it as infectious disease, which can be spread from one person to another person. Non-communicable diseases, I call it as non-infectious diseases. Or I can call these as consanguineous diseases and non-consanguineous diseases. Now, these 3 names has been appeared in your past papers. In your past papers, these things have come. Okay. Right. Now look at the board clearly. Now I'll ask you a question. Now, what are the diseases that can come? What are the diseases that can come from communicable diseases? What are the diseases that can come for the communicable that spreads from one person to another person? Yes, we can tell coronavirus. Then we can say fever. Yeah, common cold. What else can be disease? Sneezing, if someone is sneezing there, then the same sneezing might come to me. So that is, we call it as cold. Dengue might be, yeah, dengue, yes. Then non-communicable. What do you think about non-communicable? Diabetes, cholesterol, and everything. So diabetes, cholesterol, cancer, everything comes as what? Non-communicable diseases. I'll ask one question. Now think well and answer me. Now say, for example, let's say something like this. Now when you talk about non-communicable diseases, what do you understand is, now most of our generation has been killed due to the communicable diseases or non-communicable diseases. Due to what disease our generation has been killed? Yes. For what purpose and what is the reason? Very good, Sarah. Others? Very good, Rasman. Fahma, Rasman. Others? The question was, most of our generation people, our past generation people, they were killed due to the communicable disease or non-communicable diseases. Of course, yes, non-communicable diseases. So why do we take, now say, our grandfather, my grandmother, all of them passed away due to the diabetes. Some of them passed away due to some issues like what? Cancer. Some people passed away due to the kidney failure. Now, these all are non-communicable diseases. What is the reason? When you talk about non-communicable diseases, is the higher rate of people where they die. Communicable will come at one age. It will, like, at one particular period, it will kill everyone and go. Like what the corona came in 2019 to 2020, it was spreading, then it is already gone. It is removed from that era. But non-communicable, still people are facing cancer, diabetes, and everything. So to avoid the non-communicable diseases, we are supposed to do what? We are supposed to do what? Yes, because of inactive lifestyle. So we are supposed to take exercise. So we have to take the exercise, right? So how can we take exercise? Now some people go to gym and all, but let's say you don't have time to go to gym, but how you can do this at home? Sweeping. Yes, you can sweeping. Then what else? You can do gardening, cooking, then helping your parents. It's one of the exercise that you could implement at your home. So other than that, running, walking, cycling, brisk walking, these can help you to do what? These all are small exercise that you could face. So when I divide the exercise timing with the adults and children, remember, adults at least they have to spend 30 minutes. But when I talk about children, they have mentioned at least 60 minutes. What is the reason that is given for adult 30 minutes, children 60 minutes? What do you think? What is the reason they have given at least adult is 30, children is 60? What do you think about the reason? What has happened? Yes. What do you think? Very good. Children is more active. They will not get tired easily. That's why children are 60 minutes. Why does the adult? Now adults are growing older. So if they do everything at one time, what will happen? This will be hard. So at least 30 minutes if they can jog or if they walk, they can prevent from non-communicable diseases. So this is how you have to maintain. The next thing is, some people, they want to show colors. They wanted to show poshness. What do? They have a good car. But just because they want to go for like 10 meters distance of the shop, what do? They will take their big car and they will. Now, this can cause them what? Cholesterol. At least they can walk and go just to burn some calories. They don't do that. Some people use lift. Some people use accelerator. What is the reason? Accelerator and lift is given to the people who are unable to climb. So you are the people who can climb. Have you gone to the hospital or any places they put in the staircase? Good. You have burn this much of calorie. In that steps they have mentioned. Have you noticed once in your lifetime like that steps? So what is the reason you have to use the steps? Just because you have to reduce the amount of what? Stress. They reduce the amount of calories. So calories will reduce the amount of stress. So nowadays people are facing stress and anxiety due to what? Due to the development of technology. So to avoid that, take 30 minutes to avoid the phone. 30 minutes, 60 minutes, keep time levels. So when you keep the screen timing, still you will get rid of these non-communicable diseases. Understood? Clear with that? So your age is important, the work that you do is important, your lifestyle has to be important. You should have an active lifestyle. If you are very active, you live for a long. If you are inactive person, you will not long. Clear with that? Some people are not active in their physical lifestyle, but in the online lifestyle, very active, very helping person. So that is not going to bother you. Got the idea? Clear with that? So that is how active and inactive lifestyle is working, right? Next one. So when you talk about, now we have to study about body mass index. We have to talk about what? Body mass index. For this part, you have to take out your textbook. It's better to take out your textbook because colors are important. Last time I did my seminar for around 40 to 50 kids online. The question that I gave has been exactly come to the exam. That was solid. So body mass index. So when you talk about body mass index, what is body mass index? We call it as BMI. That calculates your BMI. That means whether you are correct with your height. For your age, your height and your weight is it accurate? We used to see that. So that is how we see how healthy you are, right? So that is, you call it as what? Body mass index. How do we calculate the BMI? First of all, you will take your body weight. You will take your body weight. Your body weight has to get divided by height into height. It has to get divided by what? Height into height. They never ask you to do any calculations related to the BMI, but if you know the equation, that is good. Clear with that? So weight is going to get divided by height into height. So this is what you call it as the body mass index. So have you ever seen your immunization card? Have you ever seen your immunization card? Yes. Have you seen your immunization card? Okay. In that card, how many colors do you have? How many colors do you have in that card? Yes. What are the colors you have in the card? How many colors? Very good. You have 4 colors. So take out your textbook. See here, you have 4 colors. So you can see orange color, green color, purple color. You have 2 types of purple. One is a dark purple and other one you have the light purple. Now let me show you how this is working. Look here. When I take the orange color, orange says that you are wasting. That means you are very weak. That says you are weak. Okay. Green says that you are normal. Green is always normal, no? Green color says that you are fine. Then if you go to the light purple, you are what? You are overweight. If you are dark purple color, you are in danger, which you call it as what? Obese. So what are the colors you have? Green, orange, light purple and dark purple. You have to understand what are these colors are trying to tell you. So orange color says you are a weak child. That means you are wasting. If you are a green, you says that it's a normal. If it is a light purple, you are overweight. Then obese says you are in danger, which is dark purple. Right. Come to this part. Come to this part. Look at your book. I'll tell you a way to remember. Look at your book. You have to see the way of remembering. Like, look here. Can you see that? The orange color says below minus 2st. It says what? Below minus 2st. So that means, can you see the pattern? They says they start from 2SD. So that means his range. He says that 2SD. Okay, so that is orange color. So if you want to become the normal from minus 2SD to, you are moving to what? You are moving to the plus 1SD. You are moving to what? Plus 1SD. This is the normal range. Look here. The place where you started will be starting again here. Then from here what? Plus 1SD to what? Plus 2SD. Plus 2SD. So this means you are overweight. This says you are overweight. Now where did you end? Plus 2SD. So above plus 2SD will be your obesity. Clear with that? You have to understand SD in the sense it shows the range, your nutritional status. It shows your nutritional status. That means it is a range. It's an international range. Okay. So minus, you don't want to buy hearty, but if you understand the pattern, it's easy. You see, starting from minus, ending from plus. If you understand the pattern, you would not need to buy heart. But this came to the exam. Last time it came to the exam. 2023 past paper. If you want, you can check with the colors. Usually colors come to the exam. So you can understand it starts from the minus 2SD. It ends with what? Plus 2SD. Clear? Welcome, Anisha. Right. So now what happened? You start from minus, you end with plus. So minus, again here minus. Whatever you end, it starts from that. Ending time starts from that. So it's easy to remember. And also, can you take your highlighter and highlight the ancient measurement and international measurement of normal level? Because this is the very important part. Every time in your MCQs, they ask. Other than that, they don't ask the wasting, overweight and obesity. Normally, normal weight only they ask. Normal level measurement only they ask. So if you know that measurement, that's enough. Right. Okay. Now, when you talk about the person who has more obesity, what are the diseases he can cause? What kind of diseases? Yes. If he is too much fat, what can you say? Can he walk? Can he do any physical exercise? No. He will face what? Cholesterol, heart disease, what else? Stroke, cancer, diabetes. All of them he can get it in the small age. But if you're too much thin, if you're under wasting, what do you get? What do you get? If you're too much thin, what do you get? You always faint. You always faint. You have nausea. Then you always having the problems with your joints in your bones. Can't walk. Can't run. If someone hit, you will fly like a butterfly somewhere. So it's like that. So you are weak. You can fall anytime. Clear with that? Yes, only within Asia, Maria. Clear with that? Understood that? Right. Now let's talk about adequate sleep and rest. Let's talk about adequate sleep and rest. Now tell me, why did the God create the night and the day? What is the reason he created the day and night? What is the reason he created the day and the night? Yes. Now say, day is to work. Night is to sleep. Now you need to have a good sleep or a bad sleep. You need to have a good sleep. Now usually when I take myself, I don't sleep at night. The reason I have a problem because I used to think, I have anxiety, I think of this thing and all. I used to sleep by 4. Okay. But as you see, you are studying, you are a school children. What you are supposed to do? You have to sleep by what? By 10. Usually everything overs by 10. So you can sleep by 10. Some people sleep earlier by 8. So it depends. Now, the problem is you have to sleep at least for how many hours? You have to sleep at least for 8 hours. But if you are a young child, you are a very small kid, you have to sleep at least from 8 to 10 hours, right? So this is what should be your sleeping schedule, right? But now see, you don't sleep today. You are going to school. Now, since you are scared of your class teacher, you are going to the school, and because your mother is already scolded, your mother now threaten you. If you don't go, she will not cook for you. So because of that, now you are going to school. You are going to school. At the first period itself, teacher is teaching something. Now you are feeling like something is like blurry and something is out of your control, and you are started sleeping. Now, when you sleep, what will do? Your teacher will hit with the duster. Now, when she hit with the duster, everyone will laugh at you. What you will have? You will get angry. You will lose your concentration. You will get angry. You will try to take revenge. So this cause when you have too much of blood pressure to your eyes. When the blood pressure comes to your eyes, you become more and more and more anger. The more anger you are, the more you lose yourself. So sleep is very important. You will feel irritated. Whatever they say you don't sleep one day. If your mother is telling you something, a small thing, you are like, I can't. You will shout. The reason you are disturbed. So if you sleep well and get up, you're like, did I do something like that? So that means you will turn into a monster when you don't sleep. If you sleep, you are peace, you will be very kind. So your mood is according to your sleep. So if you take a good sleep, you are a good person. If you don't take a good sleep, you are a bad person. So sleep is very important for your health. If your health has to be recharged, you need a good sleep. Clear with that? Understood? Got the idea? So you want to lose your tiredness, sleepiness, concentration and everything. If you want to get back that again, you need to sleep well. Clear with that? Understood? Right. The next thing is simple lifestyle. Now, what do you mean by simple lifestyle? Simple lifestyle means, now you might have seen people who will run behind money. Like say for example, you might have seen someone in your life, okay? Someone in your life. Okay, that person is running behind the mind. So that person is running behind the mind, but he is not spending time with his family. So now at one day when he look back, he will understand I didn't spend time with my family just because I need this money. So what do you mean by a simple life means? You are being happy with what you have. You are taking your own decision with what you have. You are leading a simple life without expecting anything, even though you are a rich person or a poor person. If you want a simple life, you will not go away from where? You will not go away from what? The money. So that means money is not a problem. But when you don't spend time with your family just because you need this, what will happen? You will lose yourself. You will not have a good life. So simple life means you are making your own decision. You are being with what you have. You are not comparing yourself. Some people look at some people's this and that and compare. Compare brings you revenge. Compare brings you jealousy. Comparing makes you sad. This makes you break. So never compare with what you have, because sometimes what you have not might be them. So it depends on what you think. Your intention has to be pure just because you want to have a simple lifestyle. So simple is always better than anything. Clear with what is simple lifestyle? Yes. Clear with that? So next thing is you have to study about stress management. So what do you mean by stress management is? Let's say for example, what is the stress? Now think, what is the stress? Stress means what? You are like, you keep on thinking on one thing that you call it as stress. Now tell me, is stress is good or bad? According to you, tell me, is the stress is good or bad? What do you think about stress? Some people say bad, some people say good. Now, when you talk about stress, remember, stress is good. Stress is good. The reason, sometimes good, sometimes bad. I'll tell you what is the reason. Say, tomorrow is exam. Tomorrow is exam. If your exam is tomorrow, if you have concern about it, say you are very thinking about it, say you are taking in concern about the exam tomorrow, that is a stress. You are taking your books, you are fearing. I'll tell you what is depression, okay? So you are fearing, okay? So you are fearing, okay, I'll study. So you study. There are some people who don't get stressed. It's okay if I get 0, like that. That is bad. You should have stress something, then only your work will be done. Say, for example, tomorrow is your deadline to do this project. What you do? You get stressed and you will do. If I say you have 1 more week time, tomorrow we'll do it, next day we'll do it, other day we'll do it, like that, do it. Again, you will come to the deadline and get stressed. Do you understand? Stress will make you do that. Stress, if you don't have stress, you have to worry. Why? You will not do anything. Understood? Next thing is, now say after the exam. Now exam is over. Now you have to forget about the stress. Some people, until they get the marks, they will keep on thinking with what? Until they get the marks, they will keep on thinking of the marks. Oh, what is the marks I'm going to get? What is the marks I'm going to get? Did you write it? Going and asking other friends, did you write well? Did you write well? Like that. No, man, I didn't study. She might have done well. Like thinking about others. This will be like overstress. This overstress, I call this as depression. I call this as what? Depression. So depression means you are overthinking out of the box. Thinking about others as well, you call it as depression. Thinking about yourself is of course fine. Thinking about others around your world is useless, no? This depression, if you keep on continuing for years and years, this becomes what? Anxiety. This becomes what? Anxiety. So what do you mean by anxiety means? Anxiety says you are closer to the death. Why? Those who have anxiety, only those people only suicide. Why? They cannot control what they are thinking. Something will come to their mind, they will do something, and like it's like very bad. So always remember, stress can be good, but if the work is until the work is done. After the work is done and thinking is useless, it will cause you depression. So you have to be managing your stress. How do you manage? Manage your time. Manage and find the solution for the question. Now say you got a problem. Find the solution. How do you find the solution? By using some other things, right? So that is how you find the solution. Step by step, everything has to be done. Did you understand? So clear, step by step has to be done. So this is how you manage the stress. Got the idea? Understood? Right. So that is about the stress management. The next thing, avoiding alcohol, illicit drugs and smoking. Now you know that when you talk about the people range, let's talk about high class people with the mid class people. Okay. Now when you talk about high class people, let's say these high class people have money. Okay. Now these people have money. They can do anything. Because whatever they do, it will not affect. But people, when you talk about the mid-class people, what do? They spend on alcohol, drugs and everything. Now, what will happen to the child's education? Say, for example, the father has 1,500 in his hand. Because he's greedy of the alcohol, he's spending the 1,500. Now, can he give education for the kid? Is it possible for him to give education for the kid? No, he spent on the illicit drugs. So, what is happening is middle-class people are getting affected by the social background, family background, education, as well as the income is getting affected due to the drugs. So what you have to understand. Now tell me how these people are getting into drugs. What do you think about it? You know, friends, through friends, drugs can be transferred. Then people take it as a common thing. In the shops, everything is available. So they go it and take what? Okay, Anisha telling breakup. Okay, so because of breakup, in the sense, what do you think? It's because like unwanted affairs, no? So due to the unwanted affairs, some friends will say you want to forget her or forget him or take these pills, you will nicely forget about them. So this can make you what? This can make you to lose your concentration with your goals. You will come away from your goals. You will forget what you have come for. So you have to understand, when you talk about drugs and everything, most of the time when you watch the film, in the films only these drugs are advertising. Now just because you wanted to become the hero is using the cigarette, people use cigarette. Just because they want to look nice or anything, like they want to look like that person, they will copy that person. So these all are bad, and making it commercial. Every shops you have, right? Every shops they have what? This alcohol, everything. So they have to limit the number of alcohol they sell. They have to limit the places, increase the price. Then the middle class people will not buy, but the high class, let them do, because they have money. They don't want to spend, like they don't want to have education since they have money, right? But these people, they are from zero. They have to start to come to 10. They have to start step by step to come to 10. So always remember, whenever you do something, you have to think. So when you talk about these drugs and alcohol and smoking, this is like what you can't get rid of until you think you can't get rid of. Say I found someone is using that. If I tell advice, he has to think this is bad. Until that, he will keep on doing. So you have to understand that whenever someone is influencing you, you have to understand why he or she is influencing me. What is the reason? What is she going to get from me? Some people will give you drugs just because they want to live well, just because they want to take you away from your goals. Some people are really jealous. They will take you away from that goal. For that, they might recommend you these drugs and all. So you have to be very careful. Just because they love you, they will not recommend you drugs or cigarettes or anything, right? That is the truth. So you have to understand how you can only do it. Some parents send their son to the shop, go and buy cigarette. No, this is not good. So we have to limit. We have to sell it only for what? Only for the adults. So we are supposed to sell only for the adults. So this is how you have to. Right. Next thing is obeying laws. Now, can you tell me, why do the government has given us law? What is the reason? Say, why do you want to wear a helmet when you go outside? Why do you want to wear a helmet when you ride bike? What is the reason? To protect your skull, protect from accidents and everything. But if you don't even follow the rules and regulation, what will happen? You will face accident and you will die. So this is what happens. So then some people, illegal drugs, they are selling illegal drugs. What else you can talk about? Some people, they don't cross their road. Say, this is your school. This is your school. Here you have the road crossing, zebra crossing. But people away from the zebra crossing, they will cross it. Why? To show colors. Now what will happen? This can what? What can happen? He or she can face the accident. Some people away driving the vehicle over speed, drunk and drive. This can help. What can it do? This will face what? So many dangers in future. So obeying rules and regulations are very important. Why? It is helping you. It is preventing you from accidents. Then illegal abortion. Illegal abortion means what? Some people will, some school students, what do? They, without knowing the parents, they will bunk the class and go with someone they like, and something will happen. They get pregnant, and illegal abortion. So this illegal abortion, when they abort the children, when they abort the kid inside their stomach, what is happening? The wound, they will get infected. The mother will get infected. Sometimes the mother has to face the death because of the abortion. Maybe she's not that strong enough to do that. So maybe because of this, they have asked you to prevent doing this. Clear with that? Got the idea? So why unwanted things? Now, when you talk about the prostitution, now why do they say not to do this? What is the reason? Unwanted pregnancies. Then what else you can talk about it? They can say spreading diseases like what? AIDS. They can spread diseases like AIDS. Then abortion. Then some people become subfertile. When they do abortion, the next time he or she can't produce a baby. It's like, sorry, she cannot produce a baby because she will get subfertile. Then another thing, sometimes she might have to face the death because she's not strong enough to do that. So many things are there. Why do they wanted you to follow this? Just because they protect you. They are protecting you. Some people, just because they wanted to live the life, they are doing everything and ruining their life until they die. So you have to understand. So health is something very important. You have to consider how you wanted to live. So sleeping on time, doing what you need, having a simple lifestyle, these all will lead you a happiest life. These all will lead you a happiest life. Did you get an idea? Got the point from what you learned right now? Did you get it? Did you understand what we were talking about? Right. Okay. Now let's talk about what are the challenges? What are the challenges you are going to face? We are going to talk about what are the challenges you will see in future to protect your total health. Now, say for example, when you talk about, okay, now when you talk about the total health, when you talk about total health, some problems may occur. Some problems may occur. Now, say for example, when you talk about the total health, first thing is, one is population. Now, population is increasing. When your population is increasing, what can you say about the population? Say, for example, I am living in this area. Let's say this is 200 meters square feet or something. Let's say something like this. In this, let's say 15 houses are there. 15 houses are there. Now, when I build more and more and more houses, more and more people are living in this area, what happens? Say one person get corona, what will happen to the other people? Everyone will get spreaded because the population increases. The next thing is, not only diseases are spreading. What else you can talk about? The amount of challenges. What are the challenges? You can say, my house and next house is combined. Me and my brother is fighting. The next house is listening to that, having a fight. So that means we don't have a privacy. When the population density increases in a particular area, the privacy of that particular area might decrease. Then the amount of food that your parents has to supply will be very high. We have to earn a lot. The person who has to work hard to get money. So these things can affect your total health. So population density is very important just because they wanted to prevent diseases, like what do you say? Not only prevent diseases as well as what? Problems in the surrounding state, right? So that is about population density. Now, what do you think about technology? What if the technology increases? Now, say, for example, if the technology develops, what are the things that you will face? What are the things that you will face? So, you will face what some people will be very lazy to go from here to here. So, that means the laziness can lead you what? Obesity. You are addicted to the phone. You don't talk to anyone. You don't have the interpersonal relationship with your friends and your family, and you just talk to the person who is not known by you in the Instagram or Facebook or anywhere you know. So that means the development of technology, we are not taking use of the technology. We are going in the wrong side. We are doing what? We are going in the upside down. We are moving in a very different way. So some people uses the disadvantage of what? They uses the disadvantage of the social media. They don't take use of the social media. So same way, when the technology increases or develops, what do you have to do? You have to be innovative. You have to understand how can I use it. But some people, they take the opposite step. And what do? They don't spend time with their family. They don't talk. And they do, like, say, for example, they use escalator, lift. They don't use the staircases just because they wanted to reduce the amount of calories. So they never do that. Right? Next thing is, what do you think about the interpersonal relationship with your family? What do you think? What is the thing? You never, nowadays, earlier days, your parents say they used to talk, sit and talk. But nowadays, we don't sit and talk. We don't do any sports. We don't get interactive with the people. We are just like as we are. So that will lead a bad impact on what? Total health. Right? Then what else you can talk about the total health? Yes. What else? Let's talk about the tourism, the people who comes to the Sri Lanka. Think about the tourist people. What are they going to do? There will be advantage. Our Sri Lanka will get famous. we get more foreign currencies and we get more dollars and everything and all, our Sri Lanka will be developed. What are the disadvantages? Some tourists come, they bring up what? Alcohol, cigarette, drugs, they spread it all over. Not only that, prostitutions can be taken place, then unwanted pregnancy, they can pollute the environment. So these things can take place in where? When the tourists come to Sri Lanka. So many things. There are good things as well as bad things. So it is in our hand to grab only the good things, to forget all of the bad things. So what else you can talk? What are the things that can affect? Like say for example, what if a natural disaster causes, if there's a tsunami and like what do you say? So when you talk about tsunami, when you talk about the flood, what is happening to the people? Say today I'm living very happily and not tomorrow I am being a victim of flood. What is happening? I don't have proper food. I don't have a proper shelter. I don't have a way of living. So what happens? My total health will be totally damaged. My total health will be totally damaged when I don't have this. So sometimes due to the natural disaster, we might be the victim of total. Clear with that? Got the idea? Understood? Then what else you can talk about? What are the things that what are the challenges that we can face in the total health? So these are the challenges like tourist industry, development of technology, population density, ill effects of tourism, then what else? Economic level of the education, then what else you can talk about? You can talk about the natural disasters that can cause and make it, yeah, you can talk about it as well. So what else you can talk about? Now tell me, how can I make this, how can I correct it? What are the steps I have to take to bring up a good health life? What are the steps that I could take it? What are the things I could bring it? Yes. So what are the things I can challenge? What are the things I could come up with? Very good. You have to make the health education compulsory. If you make the health education compulsory, many of them will know what is good and what is bad. So nowadays, health education is an option. So we have to make the health education compulsory. Then we have to uplift the educational level of the people. So what I do? People do everything for money. We have to do something for free because not everyone is afford of doing. So what can we do? We have to uplift the educational level of the people. The way of reading, writing, listening, talking, these disciplinary things has to be improved in people. What else you can say? Uplifting the economic status of the people. Like how? If these people are well educated, they can go for a good work and earn well. If they're not educated, they will go for some other work where they could afford it, right? Then what else? Doing awareness program. Do you ever seen any awareness program in your area? Never, no? We study in health book, but we never see any awareness program. So that is about awareness program. Then what else? Say, for example, some people is affected by the flood and all. If they're affected by the flood, what you will do? You will go and donate something what you have. So donating people. So you are uplifting the welfare of displaced people. Right. So what else you can talk about? You can bring up the very nice way. Now you can say disciplinary education to the students. Now, so many students, they never know how to talk to a teacher, to the parents, to the elders. So we have to bring all these changes, right? So you can build a health promoting environment. So many things have to be done. So these all are general things that you have to remember. Clear with that? Yeah, you can increase the staffs in the health ministry and all health education. In those ways, you can increase the number of staff there. The working, if they provide the right salary, people will work at right time. If they don't pay it on right time, they will not work it on right time. So that is depending. That's why some people, they do this protesting and all when they're not getting paid. Understood? Clear with that? Got the idea? Understood about what you learned today? So that's it about the lesson. So it's about your lesson. You have to not by heart. You have to understand the lesson. If you understand the lesson would be interesting. Always remember, nothing to be memorized in this lesson. You have to understand, because in this whole paper will come as a general knowledge. But certain things you have to know. These all are general knowledge, certain things you have to know. Right, guys? So you all understood what you all learned today? Yes? Got the idea? Right, okay, guys. So, yes, so let's end up the session. So, anyways, we are done with the lesson. I hope you really love the lesson. So, if you really love, and let me know. And yeah, usually we'll be having the classes from 8 to 10. And if you're really interested, you can definitely join. We provide you unit-wise past paper, model-wise past paper, as well as the provincial past paper with the model short note, right? So then have a good day, take care, and assalamu alaikum, and good night, guys. Take care. Walaikum salam.